It's the Daily Comedy News with your host, Mark Pires. Join us for breaking headlines and all kinds of comedy shenanigans. Brought to you by The Beat Seat.
Welcome. Monday morning. We're at it again, aren't we? Are all the lights on? Yeah, all the lights are on. How's everybody doing? Gosh almighty, Monday morning. We got a lot to talk about here. Comedy news. The MarkinsPires show, day 1904 in a row. That's correct. Every day since December 31st, 2018, we get together. And it's the comedy news in the morning. And then at night, it's music and comedy. So 2 shows a day. If you can, please head over to YouTube, X, or Rumble. Subscribe, turn on all notifications, because it's every day. You want to make sure you don't miss any of it. And just so you know, there's no politics on this show. This is just strictly scrolling the news and finding anything else that's breaking that's non-political, and then we make comedy out of it. So hit that link. You're going to see the stories over my shoulder. We actually look at them together. I read them with you, and that's how we make the comedy. We do it together. Jerry Hayes is with me here on YouTube, so if you guys can join her, it'd be awesome. The link is right in my bio here on TikTok. So, what's happening out there with this NAR settlement? I want to talk about it because I'm a realtor. This affects my business. I've been selling real estate for 15 years. I've been doing this show for 5 years in a row every single day, but I don't make money for this. I make money as a real estate agent. So this is definitely going to affect my business going forward. And I want to talk about it with you guys and see what I expect may happen, see what your thoughts are on it. And we'll get into the ruling, and we'll get into what the next couple of months look like while they're, going to find out if this is actually going to go into effect. And I know realtors, I'm seeing all these messages everywhere. People are freaking out about this because what they're basically saying is the buyers, basically a buyer's agreement in my state always has to be signed. So, but this is something they're saying nationwide. You always have to have a buyer agreement in place, and you have to negotiate a fee for your buyer's agent before you even go look at houses. There's going to be sellers now that are going to say, I'm not going to pay out a buyer commission. There's always been this understanding that if you're going to look at a property, there is a buyer's commission paid out on the other side. So someone's going to do the hard work, bring you a buyer, and they're going to get paid for that act. And now what they're saying is a seller can decide to say, hey, I don't want to pay a buyer agent. That's on their agent to pay them. Now this is going to have so many different ramifications because these buyers are purchasing properties based on their buying power. If they have to also expect to pay 2%, or it's because it may go down to that. It was this whole class action suit, whatever it was, started over 6% commission rates. Now we don't have that in my part of the country. Some people have given 6%, but usually it's 5%. Some people do 4%. So, and then that's split usually between the two agents. So this is going to affect a lot going forward. Also, apparently, we're not going to be able to see, as a realtor, when I go on to look at a property and I say I'm going to show this to a client, it's not going to say what they're paying out for commission any longer. So now I'm going to have to call that agent to find out, which brings in a whole other set of issues. When you have a new property on the market, when there's limited inventory, and there's 80 people that want to show that property, now all 80 people are trying to figure out, how much are you paying out? Are you paying out? Because I have to talk to my client about this before I even show it. Because that has to be agreed on, or I don't even know how that works. You have a buyer's agreement, that buyer has to be paid. How do you make sure you get paid? There's gonna be a lot of small claims court, I think, coming up. So I wanna hear from you guys. What do you think about it? We'll read the story. Oh, I missed the woo-hoo. Zabrowski, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you. Guys, Matt Zabrowski hits us with a woo-hoo every day. And I couldn't hear it today. So if you want to see these stories, head to YouTube, head to X, or head to Rumble, subscribe, turn on all notifications, because we're going to see these together. I'll pull it up on the screen right now. Helen Gale Townsend with me. I love it. Let's see. This says I can open up a dashboard. I'm going to do that because I'm not seeing who's on with me right now. But let's see if that helped. No. Anyway, let's see if we can get into it. Guys, please hit me with many chats here. I see Modoc, thank you, because I can't see how many people are on and who's on with us. It's acting up already this morning. Let's see what we have here. What we do here, news stories over my shoulder, and we scroll together. Again, no politics. we got enough of that everywhere you're going to see. When we look at this, Where's my, oh no, this was the one I wanted. Let's see. Here we go. Now we're seeing me. There I am. I could see some people now when I look at this screen, which is good. All right, so we were trying to find the NAR settlement news. This is what's happening right now. Your home selling costs could drop as a NAR settles suit. Now it's 2 days ago. This was a day ago. I kind of want to go to the day ago, and it's. Let's read this. Is the era of the celebrity real estate agent over? Now, this guys, just so you know, this show is sponsored by the Beat Seat. The Beat Seat is the only drum in the world for guitar players. You can pick one up at beatseat.rocks. Full body drum, you sit upright, you play with your hands, you play with your feet, all at the same time. You can play your guitar and kick it, sounds like a drum kit. And it's the perfect drum for solo artists, but it's also a powerful sensory therapy drum for anybody with a special need. So if you know anybody who has a special need, anybody with autism, anybody with Down syndrome, I don't know why I say syndrome, it's syndrome, please let them know about the Beat Seat. Beatseat.rocks. Let's see what we have here. So is the era of the celebrity real estate agent over? You know, we all have seen the shows, $1 Million Listing, all of these different crazy shows where they're talking about 6% commission rates, which again, we don't do here, but there are many parts of the country that do 6%. An agreement between the National Association of Realtors and the plaintiffs charging artificial inflation commissions paves the way for the end of the industry standard 6% in agent fees. And again, I don't know why they say industry standard, because it's not. Here in Connecticut, it's never been industry standard. We always have negotiated our commissions when we go in. So it's going to be the same thing, I believe, for us in Connecticut, but I'll explain why it may be a touch different, and it could wind up causing a lot of issues. On Friday morning, March 15th, star real estate brokers across the country awoke to the news that embattled National Association of Realtors, which represents about 1.5 million agents. I'm one of them. It's an industry-altering deal. Not only will NAR settle several suits claiming artificial inflation of commissions to the tune of $418 million, but it will also institute rule changes that may bring soaring real estate prices down while decreasing realtors' commissions significantly. NAR has worked hard for years to resolve this litigation in a manner that benefits our members and American consumers. It has always been our goal to preserve consumer choice and protect our members to the greatest extent possible. NAR interim CEO Nikia Wright said in a press release. The settlement achieves both of these goals. Let's talk about that. So seismic was the news that some of the country's biggest brokerages refused to comment to the Hollywood Reporter on the deal. If the new rules are approved by a judge, agents will no longer be able to bake in the industry standard of 5 to 6% in their MLS listings. Brokers will also be required to sign a broker's agreement on the buyer side directly with the clients, not to be required to sign up for multiple local MLS sites as well. But again, in Connecticut, just so you know, whenever I get a call from a buyer and they're like, hey, I want to go out and see a property, they have to sign a buyer agreement for me to take them out. That's just the way we do it in Connecticut. We've already been kind of ahead on this one. You can't go out without a buyer until you have them sign that agreement, because you want to be protected, make sure you get paid. And that's really the formality that has to be done up front. That's a tricky one in itself. People are always like, how do you get a buyer agreement signed when you first meet someone? Well, there's multiple ways of doing it. First of all, you're building trust. You have to explain to someone that, you know, they're giving you their loyalty, you're giving them yours as well. And when they want to see something, you're all over it. But sometimes you have to do it for a short term. Just say, give me a week to show you what I can do. Give me 1 week exclusive here, and let me see what I can show you. And that may get you an opportunity to get another month or maybe another 3 months. So we're going into very uncharted territories when it comes to this new ruling, though, because what is going to probably happen is just going to have people bypassing, figuring out how to get to the listing agent because they don't want to pay a commission to a buyer. That's what's going to happen here if they're saying that they're not paying out commission any longer. Now, here's the difference. I do believe in the state of Connecticut, for example, where we already don't do this, hey, it's 6%, like we negotiate on the way in. Westport, Connecticut, by the way, it's 4%. And that's split between the two agents. In Fairfield and other towns, it's 5% There's some random people who are like, look, I'll give you 6% to sell it. Again, that's the seller pushing that concept. Look, I'll give you more to get my property sold. Let's get this going. But I've seen some people putting out less, and realistically, it is always negotiable up front. The difference is that when the seller is paying for that buyer to bring the buyer's agent to bring in the buyer, that all those fees are taken care of in the mortgage. And if it's not taken care of in the mortgage anymore and it's coming out of the buyer's pocket as part of their down payment, essentially, now you're going to have an issue where people aren't going to be able to buy the homes. Their buying power is going to be swallowed up. Sometimes $20,000, $30,000 on $1 million home, something like that, is going to really affect your ability to buy $1 million home. You're going to be able to buy a $900,000 home. So you're going to have to start. We're going to have to navigate this. It's going to happen in real time, obviously. But I don't believe that the National Association of Realtors was on our side on this one. They settled instead of saying, you know what, we don't have an industry standard. That's what it should have said. We don't have an industry standard. Because we don't. In Connecticut, it's not the same, so it's not an industry standard. It's maybe in Arizona and different states, you see an industry standard within that state. But to blanket the entire United States real estate business in this blanketed commission rate, it's not accurate. I mean, we try to get typically 5%, but other towns, like I said, have been 4.5%. And they always see the value in a buyer's agent being incentivized to bring their clients through and try to sell that property. And so I think that's what they're trying to do here is you can't find out how much you're getting paid anymore. You're showing in the blind. Your buyer's already agreed to pay you to whatever it's a percent or a flat fee or whatever people are starting to talk about. But here's the problem with flat fee type stuff. You have to bake in all these extra things because I've had clients that purchase properties the first time they've gone out to look. I've had people look for 3 months. I've had people look for 3 years before they buy. If you give someone like X amount for my services, flat fee, and then they're a 3-year buyer, you know what I mean? You can't, what are you gonna do? You gotta have to raise your kids and pay bills, especially when everything with inflation is happening. So I think that this is going to be a decision that's gonna push a lot of people out of the industry. You have a lot of just buyer brokers. They don't do any listing. And now they're gonna be just completely wiped away because these people are gonna just go to the listing agent. They'll take the chance of the listing agent making more. They don't care. They're just going to get the house. And they're not going to pay out of pocket for an agent, even if the agent's great. Someone who go out there, do the work. I shoot films for my clients. I go out there and do full walkthroughs with my camera and make a video of every property because some of them are from California. They can't get to Connecticut. Or they're even from Connecticut, but they're at work and they just can't get to the property. So I've always found a way to add more value to all of my clients. And that's the way you have to be. I think it's going to be even more so going forward. Like, what do you bring to the table for your clients? Why are they going to use you instead of some other buyer broker who's going to charge them a fee? They want to make sure now that there's a value to that fee. And being a content creator, one of the things I naturally offer to every single client is I will go and create videos of every property you're interested in. You don't even have to leave where you are. If you like the video, you like the place, you come out and see it. If you don't, we keep going and make another one of the next one. And to me, that is probably the most valuable service that you could ever provide to a buyer. But you got to be able to know how to do it. And not everybody knows how to content create, knows how to edit, knows what's going on in that house enough to explain every little detail. Having a brother and a father who have a construction company, Pires Construction, if you're ever looking for any work in Connecticut or to build a house new, they're amazing at what they do. But having that and working in that business for 13 years prior, knowing what's in a house, knowing what things cost, understanding the mechanicals, understanding how to explain what an HVAC system is and what hydro air is as opposed to just a hot air system or whatever, all these little details that you go through and you have to be able to explain to a client. The detail on the wall. People just look at a wall, they say, oh, there's a piece of baseboard on there. And there's, oh, is that a clamshell piece of crown? What is that, crown molding? You know, do you understand what's there? How many pieces of crown molding are there? There's a lot of detail in a house that if you can explain properly, you can create a very enticing video to get your clients out to see it if it's worthwhile. If it's something they don't like, they don't like. But finding the features in the room, being able to explain them to your clients in a video and sending it to them in their email box. So all they're doing is opening up a video and they're like, okay, I saw that property. Like, I got a good feel. I could buy it. Or no, I don't like it. Because also what I'm doing is I'm walking through and I'm explaining how much things cost. I'm like, oh geez, look, this house, this bathroom over here, the tile, you're gonna wanna redo the tile. You know, just kind of do this whole bathroom over, rip it out, and let's just do a full renovation. $12,500 to $14,000. Bang, biggity boo. Now they're actually laying out a spreadsheet. Oh, if I want to renovate this house, Mark just told me how much it's going to cost. No, that one's not good. Or you know, it's only like $18,000 worth of real upfront renovations in this house. Let's look at this one when we're out. So that's how I'll be adding value to my buyers, continuing to add value to my buyers going forward. You know, if you have to pay for an agent in Connecticut, you can go with someone who's going to I found a listing, let me know when you can come out. Or like, I looked at it, it's really nice. Or look, I shot a video. You know, like, no, somebody's going in there with a freaking gear. I'm going in there with gear. It looks like it was shot by Discovery Channel. Like, go and watch my videos when I shoot. I'm using like a three-axis gimbal to shoot my videos. And then I have a tracking system when I want to get on camera and explain things. It's like it's done on the Travel Channel. That's what the whole concept of what everything is that I create. So when my clients who are working with me want to look at properties, they're also having a real estate like content experience that's unlike anything else out there. We're all unique in our own ways. What do you do to get your client to say, hey, you know what, that's interesting, Mark, show me another. I can't wait for the one client's like, I just like Mark's videos, let's just send him out on another. I want to buy that one when we go and see it, but send him out on like 4 more. I like these videos. Because I like making them. And we have fun. I put music to it. I put my music. It's like I'm creating like these videos you could put on YouTube and actually like hopefully have people watch because they're kind of cool. And that's what I do like with my clients. I can't tell you the amount of videos that I've made and that I've just kind of erased because they're just client videos, you know? But some of them are really good. I'm like, man, I wish I could drop this. It's just like a tour of some property. I'm like, guys, do you see this? What's going on with this bathroom here? Someone dropped a double-decker right before I got here. You know, that was the story of the day when I did it. Anyway, guys, let's get into this commissions story here. I want to talk about it. Why am I not seeing? That's interesting. I'm looking at this and it's not the right thing. There we go. Now we're on the right screen. So you guys are looking at that stupid Google screen for the last 5 minutes. I'm sorry about that. BDP, how are you? Trish Killian in the house. Kill it and grill it. Danik, good to see you. Oh, goodness. I love it when you guys are here with me. This is a morning show every day. If you guys can kick it in with me, we have some fun here. We talk about what's happening. Right now, this is not necessarily a fun story for me because my real estate business is about to shift in a whole new way. And I'm not sure exactly how it's going to affect my business, but you know, this is more of a reason why this show has to explode, is because of this. You know, like I got 3 kids, I have a wife. I've been doing this for 1,904 days in a row. They've hidden me from you. We found out now I'm harmful in YouTube's eyes because I tell you the comedy news. I don't talk about politics. I write you songs in the moment at 432 hertz, which is actually a healing frequency. And oh, by the way, I also invented the only drum in the world for guitar players, and it's also an extremely powerful sensory therapy drum, which could bring peace and joy to millions of kids with a special need. I did that. It's here every single day. And they want to say that's harmful, and you're not allowed to find it. And so I really hope you guys will take it on as a mission to grassroots this thing and say, you know what? Yeah, the guy who invented the sensory therapy drum that the entire world is going to benefit from in years, I can't get you to find it right now. But one day everybody's going to have it. Let's make sure we get it out there now. Why don't you guys help me get it out there? This thing is amazing. It's the only full body drum on planet Earth, and I have a patent for it, so nobody else can make it. And it sounds amazing like a drum kit, but everywhere you hit it sounds different, and that means it feels different. You get a vibrational effect from this. For someone with a special need with sensory issues, this thing is going to change their lives. You get one for you, and you get one for your kid, and you sit there and you can communicate. They're multicolored. I make them that way as well, so you could use it as a teaching tool. This is what I think the show may never get to where it needs to go, but the Beat Seat needs to get out to every person with a special need. They need to know about it. And people who know someone with a special need to tell them, look, I understand you're dealing with what you're dealing with, And there are tools out there. I just wanted you to know about one more tool that no one knows about, but it's perhaps the most powerful sensory therapy tool on planet Earth. And you should know about it. It's just go to beatseat.rocks. Just check it out. Just check it out at beatseat.rocks. And you'll see her sitting on it because musicians rock out on it as well. It's a game changer, guys, in every aspect of it. So anyway, outside, going back into the story. Celebrities, real estate agents. Let's see. Brokers will be required to sign a buyer's broker. We talked about this already. Consumer Federation of America has predicted that commission rates could fall to 3 to 4%, which again, like 4% is kind of where it's been on some of these towns. And if it goes down to that and people split it down the middle, I think everybody could tolerate that. But this concept of not knowing, being in the dark, that's the thing I think is going to be a massive change. It's not going to go well because you got 50 agents trying to figure out what they're getting paid and what they have to talk to their clients about. Because now their clients are saying, okay, I know that I may have a delta up to 2.5%. I may have a delta up to 3%, whatever these people are doing in another part of the country. And now if I'm going to buy a property, I need to know up front, am I paying that 3%? Is the seller paying some of that 3%? So then I can figure out the delta of what I have to pay above and beyond that X percent. And all these questions start being like, okay, we need that before we could even go see the property. I'm calling that agent. 10 other people have the same exact problem. They're calling that agent. They can't broadcast what the commission rate is. So we're all like, what the? I think what's going to happen is there's going to be like a community board that's going to be created. And maybe I should create that freaking community board. You know, realtor commission rates, United States realtor commission rates by address. Can somebody help me with that? And we'll make it. And then I'm just going to go in there and I'll put my properties in. Everybody puts their properties in there and we're good to go. You know what I mean? Because it's got to be off MLS, apparently. You can't be involved with the MLS. It's going to have to be something on stupid like Facebook, which sucks. You know? It zucks, really. Guys, 20 to 30 billion in commission payments each year will be saved, apparently. They're calling it saved. It's cutting the throats of people working hard. Some people think, here's the difference. There are people that don't work very hard for their clients. And then there are people who do. Again, when you're creating videos and you're doing the research for your clients, these things are very important. And when you're doing that, that's adding value. There's a lot of people that don't, so I get it. But the idea of cutting out the buyer agent who's literally bringing the buyer to your house to buy it doesn't even make sense to me. And then, of course, the reason why you pay a listing agent, because that person's providing all of the behind-the-scenes work. They're there for every showing, doing open houses for you, available for any phone call when you're not, you're working. You can't do all these. Like, it's a weird thing because people be like, I'll try to sell my house. Then people totally cut out a commission. I feel like the smart sellers going forward are going to say, you know what? I'm going to put my property out there that we're paying out. Because now you're letting that buyer buy more home. And then it's a matter of, and this is an interesting thing, if you especially think about this, if you're having trouble selling your home, you know, and then you broadcast in some way, if I don't know how it's going to work yet, but that your seller's paying out full commission. Now you got a bunch of buyers who've been saying to themselves, buyers agents who've been saying to themselves, I can't get my clients to buy anything because every property they're working in that delta and it never works out. Deals are falling apart like crazy because of some weird delta that's not included in the mortgage. I think it somehow has to be included in the mortgage. You know, especially if the buyers are going to have to pay it, they should be able to pay it as part of their mortgage payments. And I know that there's some sort of issues with regulations at this moment in time. And this is where you wonder, when they throttle of an entire business like this, when we're already dealing with the recession and all these other things going on, you have to wonder, is there any interest in them saving the business? Because it doesn't look like, I mean, these people took the sword right to every real estate agent out there saying, hey, you know what, buyers, screw the buyers. It should have been, there's going to be a negotiated fee up front that will be split between the buyers and the listing agent. And that's it. And there's nothing that's like industry standard. That's it. That should have been the ruling. Guys, there's no industry standard. We negotiate up front how the buyers and the sellers agent splits that commission. Instead, they took it one step further and said, you buyers, agents, you guys aren't worth your weight in salt. They're just trying to kick people out of the business. And I think they're going to be very successful at that. I can't imagine many people are going to stick around and be agents when this really takes place and starts to take a hold of everybody's wallets. Of course, the most important thing I can say about this is somehow finding a tap to listings. This is going to be a listing-specific market going forward. You have to have the listings if you want to make money. Everybody else is going to lose their license. They're going to decide not to up, their license at the end of the year every May. And they're going to say, you know what, I'll do something else. I'll find another job. Because when you can't make the money that you were making, and already that was kind of hard, you know what I mean? And then they're like, hey, fuck you, dude. Now you're out there working for some people you're not even going to get paid. That's what they're basically saying to you. Like, where is the legal system when it comes to the rights of the worker? Okay, I understand you want to do some sort of class action against some scumbags that were doing something in some specific part of the country. But to blame every realtor and say, hey, you know what, you all across the board can't be paid any longer by the seller. Or you could, but you have to talk about that up front, and then you can't tell any of the other agents on the MLS what you're paying out. I'm like, what kind of rule is that? I mean, like, you have to know if you're making money, so you have to approach it. Hey, buddy, by the way, they're only paying 1% on this to a buyer, and you have our agreement where you have to pay up to, depending on what's happening out there. This seller's they're not playing along, so just be prepared. You got to come out of pocket. It just affects everything. Leela's on with me. So good to see you. Guys, Leela's kicking it with us, and she's over on YouTube as well. If anybody's out there and they want to join us on X, Rumble, or YouTube, this is where the news story is over my shoulder, and we kind of talk about things and see what's happening in the real world. So, I'm not sure. It says you'll see 500. Okay, this is somebody in the business talking. Let's see. I kind of skipped through it. Some believe that slashing standard agent commissions will have a devastating impact on the industry. Seems like it would. There are countries that are just structured similar to what the Department of Justice has been conducting a probe of real estate agents. This is the Department of Justice is pushing this? Is that what I'm reading, really? These plaintiffs are looking for, in those countries, Australia being a preeminent example, less than 10% of buyers use an agent. Listen to that. Does that mean that really 90% of the agents are not worth their weight in salt? Or do they just screw people out of it and they're like, well, I got to adapt? So they want you to adapt into a business where there is no longer a job for you. Like, you got to be a listing agent. This is basically all they're telling you with this entire article here. Less than 10% of buyers use an agent. When they do, they only pay 1%. So that 10% of 100% of agents. So 9 out of 10 agents are sitting around holding their thumb, waiting for a listing. It's insane. Essentially, the buyer agent commission is gone, and that is something that could happen in this country, Jason Oppenheim told THR in 2023. If buyers aren't required to have agents in the U.S., in the future you'll see millions of jobs lost. You'll see 500,000 to 750,000 agents leave the profession. I think that's accurate. You'll see probably 250,000 people who work a large brokerage lose their jobs. A vocal critic of the NAR, which dominates the industry via its MLS system, is celebrity real estate agent Mauricio Umansky, co-founder of the agency. And I guess he's the star of Netflix's Buying Beverly Hills. Never seen it. Earlier this year, Umansky and New York-based Compass agent Jason Haber announced a new alternative trade association to NAR, named the American Real Estate Association. I may have to check that out. The MAREA. So they are also setting up an alternative nationwide listing database to rival MLS. I actually like that. A complete nationwide listing database. That's what I was telling you. Something like that. And that would bypass this ruling because they're not connected to NAR. I'm thinking I'm going to have to join the American Real Estate Association. Guys, who's joining me? Who's joining me? I think we should do it. They're trying to replace nurses with robots. They're trying to replace everything with robots. This is why when people were getting on me, and I can't get into this, you guys know it, but when they were all saying, look, it's good and everybody's getting a benefit. You guys know what I'm talking about. And you're like, I don't know about that. Like, I feel good, and I'm not down with Fluhan, And then you just decided to just take your chances with God, It's basically the same thing, right? I don't know how. But the nationwide listing database I like. I'm thinking about that. You put everything in, and then everybody knows about it. I can go and look in New York City's properties instead of having to belong to that MLS. Like, it's always been mental to me that there's so many MLSs. Like, just put one MLS that's nationwide. And you go in there and you're like, what, you want to look at property in Nebraska? I'll fly out. You want to fly me out to go and buy a property in Nebraska? Because you are one of the awesome souls that's like, you know what, I want to pay you. I want to pay you to be my agent, Mark. It's going to be hard to find those people. No one's going to want to pay for an agent anymore. Nobody wants to pay for an agent now, you know? So the realistic side of things, which was always very easy to explain, is look, you don't pay for it. It's my services are always free. This is what I always thought about. I was like, my services are free. Anything that's on the MLS is paying me out a commission. So essentially, if I'm going out and creating videos for you and I'm sending you all these great, like, travel channel style videos of properties you're interested in, and we eventually buy something, I'm getting paid from that seller. So don't worry about it. Let's send me out there. Let me go and do the work. It's a value in getting an agent that works for you, especially if you're not paying for it. That's like an even more of a value. Get a good agent. Now it's going to be like, I may have to pay an agent. People are going to be awfully picky. They're not going to sign buyer agreements. They're not going to do any of that. Why am I going to give you a guaranteed percentage, sir? I don't even know who you are. I just met you at this open house, sir. I'm like, gosh almighty, you're right, ma'am. I mean, I could tell you I'm a great real estate agent. I sell a lot of real estate and I do a great job for my clients and I create videos, but you don't know me yet. You're right. You don't know that. You haven't seen me and be like, oh yeah, this guy is consistent and dedicated and he's motivated and inspirational and things that I would like when I'm out looking at a home. You didn't see any of that yet. You don't know. You just met me for a few minutes. We had a nice chat. So I get it. So all of this stuff is going to wind up creating a massive mud pile of confusion for everybody. No one knows what's going on. I have no idea what's going to go on, you know? So what are your thoughts? What do you guys think about this? Let's move on to something else. I think we've had enough of this topic, first of all. But I think I kind of nailed it. You're going to see some sellers that are smart enough to say, I'm going to pay commission because it's going to be paid for. I'm going to get my money. It's going to be paid for by the buyer's broker or the buyer's mortgage. So essentially the buyers are paying for the commission. I mean, they're not thinking about this properly. Like, the seller's getting what he's going to get. But a buyer can't buy more than a certain amount. So if they're able to get to that number, and all they have to do is pay a little more each month for what is essentially the closing costs, I think then they'll be happy to make sure they get their buyer, as opposed to being the one who's like, you know, you have an issue where now, is the deal going to fall through? It's going to be a constant concern for people. Is the deal going to fall through? You're like, I don't know. I'm not sure. We have to see how it goes. Going to get through the loan process. That $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever it is for a buyer's broker that was going to be set aside for this transaction is now going to be coming out of your pocket. So we have to figure out what's what. Let's see. Got Tucker Carlson. Guys, we have in half hour, Sensei Round Eye is premiering. I'm not sure if you know who Sensei Round Eye is, but basically it's Bruce Lee's master. He's offering a masterclass for free at 11 o'clock, and it's going to head right to that after the show. If you just stick around and chatting, it will push you right over to it. But I will give you the link
before the flight.
Round Eye. There
she said, it's the Daily Comedy News with your host,
what is that?
Mark Pires.
Oh, okay. That's what our new screen looks like on the channel. It opens up right to that, which is kind of cool. All right, let's get back into the story here. We don't even know what we have for a story yet, to be honest, but we're going to do it. Yahoo News. So, tow truck driver delivers fatal punch in New York City parking garage. Gosh almighty. It's always like stories where someone gets killed. Like, I don't want to talk about those stories. Police discover Riley Strain's bank card amid college student's disappearance. What? What is this about? Authorities discovered a clue in the case of missing University of Missouri's college student Riley Strain, who vanished while visiting Nashville earlier this month. Nashville police announced Strain's bank card was found Sunday on the embankment between Gay Street and the Cumberland River. Near Riverfront Park, in a post on X, The search for him continues. Strain was visiting Nashville on Friday when he went missing after being kicked out of a bar on Gay Street in the city's Broadway area. The 22-year-old was last seen by friends at 9:52 p.m. after he was kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar, Luke 32 Bridge. Strain and his Delta Chi fraternity brothers were in Nashville for a formal courting to Strain's parents. He was excited because he was out. He was sending me pictures at the different bars that they were going to. Look, Mom, I'm trashed. Just want to send you a pic. Just had another shot. He was having fun with his fraternity brothers, his mom said. Something nefarious happened with those fraternity brothers. You guys know it. There was a hazing going on. There was a hazing going on. You keep going. He drank too much, threw him in the river, it looks like. Look, the police are out there looking. I hope that's not the case. There's no jurisdiction of foul play and no indication that Strain was in a fight or argument with anyone that night. The last known surveillance video of Strain showed him walking north between James Robertson Bridge and Woodland Street Bridge. Look, there's a guy over here. I wonder if he knows anything. Adding that no one else was around him. There is one person right around him right there. Authorities are searching by foot, by drone, by boat, including using boats with sonar equipment. He's a good kid. He's down, looking forward to having a fun weekend. Strain's dad, Ryan Gilbert, said, "We want to bring him back, bring him home safe." Strain's parents and step-parents have been in Nashville for days helping in the search. Tennessee Alcohol Beverage Commission said it's investigating whether Strain was overserved before his disappearance. There's no specific rules or statutes that governs escorting out intoxicated patrons from their business and providing assistance in getting someone home. So, however, state law provides or prohibits serving alcoholic beverages to... Really? I need a drink. Gosh almighty. Some of these lines, I'm reading them live. However, state law prohibits serving alcoholic beverages to someone who is visibly intoxicated. Violation is a Class A misdemeanor. So, I'm not sure what you guys think here. What do you think happened? The Delta Chi fraternity is deeply concerned for the safety of Riley Strain, a valued member of our Missouri chapter. The fraternity said in a March 11th statement, "Our thoughts and hopes are with Riley's family and our Missouri chapter during this challenging time." Guys, his bank card, no good. This is no good. Poor kid. He was just out there trying to get wrecked. Listen to some tunes. You know, Luke Bryan kicked him out. He does look like he's in deep thought. Or totally wrecked. You know, could be totally wrecked. But, you know, I have to say, it's been this long and now they see his bank card. He's no good. You have to question, though, like, has the bank card been there the whole time and, like, it hasn't been used? Have they been able to check to see if it's been used? Oh, he just was at the deli. Let's go and see if we can get down there real quick. Don't we have a squad car nearby the deli? Just have him take a look and see if we see Riley Strain there. Riley Strain. I hope you're okay, buddy. I hope you're okay. This is always a bunch of horse crap. Walmart slashes prices on big selling TVs, kitchen essentials, and more. Don't miss out. And here's the scumbag crap about it now. You see these, they say ad. This one doesn't say ad. This is when you know Walmart owns like Yahoo or something like that, like in the back end, right? Everybody else has got like an ad. Never going back to Prime. Why 20,000 users prefer this? You go down, scroll a couple. Walmart slashes prices on top selling TVs, kitchen essentials, and more. Don't miss out. Come on down. No ad. No ad there. I'm not looking. They're trying to get me with the fake ad. I don't like when they try to get you with the fake ad. You know, I'm going to move on to find a real ad and read that ad for you. So what else do we have? Putin landslide. You guys heard he got 85% of the vote, and they're immediately calling it rigged. Good for him, I guess. I don't know. I don't know who would have won. Who was running against him? I think the guy who was running against him just died last month, if I recall. Navalny or whatever? I don't even know who was running against him. The ghost of Navalny was running against Vladimir Putin. And he just like, he swept him clean at 85%. You know? Also had him murdered. I mean, no, I don't know. Just joking. Here, okay, I can't. Mike Tyson taunts Jake Paul with one frightening question in a new video. I gotta see it. I love Mike Tyson. He's my favorite. I used to love watching Tyson just destroy people. He took a guy's head off once. That was tragic to watch. Let's see. Let's see what Tyson's saying. I love this guy. He's freaking awesome. Guys, follow me on X, all right? MarkinsPires. I think that's what it is. Ooh, look at this dude.
Day 3. You still want to fuck with me?
Woo! Oh, Tyson, you're not supposed to swear on the MarkinsPires show. We don't drop F-bombs here. But he's Mike Tyson. He could do it. You know, like, I'm not going to tell Tyson he can't do it. Like, Tyson, I'm going to talk to you. Let me give him a call real quick, actually, see if we can get him on the line. Hi, yes, I'm trying to see if I could reach Mike Tyson. Yeah, Clarence, I get it. No, I'm sure everybody tries to get to Mike. Listen, I'm trying to see if I can get him on the air right now. Got a couple questions for him about dropping F-bombs live on the air. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is Mark Pires. It's like yeah. Yeah, the MarkinsPires show. You watch it? Clarence, I just dropped a pic. I had no idea you were a huge fan of the show. Welcome. Welcome to the chat. Are you in the chat right now? Jerry, do you see Clarence in there? He says, Helen, do you see Clarence? Hillybilly's up there. He may actually see Clarence. He's talking about the Clarence from It's a Wonderful Life. Zuzu's Petals. Remember that one. Listen, can I get Mike on the line? Yeah, no, I know. Clarence, no, he's going to get mad if I do that. Really? Okay, fine. Clarence, pass me along to Mike. I want to talk to him right now. Yeah, Clarence, just don't let him know I did it. All right. Yeah. No, good to see. I'll look for you in the chat. All right. Yeah, thanks, Clarence. God, he loves my Mike Tyson impression. Mike, it's Mark Pires, host of the longest running... Yeah, the MarkinsPires show. You watch it too? Are you kidding me? You're one of my I mean, you know you're my favorite. I've talked about you like all the time. Like, I always talk about you. You're the greatest boxer of all time. When they talk about GOATs... Yeah, I know, Michael Jordan of boxing. Why do people do that when they talk about you and everybody else? Oh, he's the Michael Jordan of boxing. I'm like, you're the Mike Tyson of boxing. No, I know Muhammad Ali. Yeah, I know. He loves Muhammad, guys, you know. Listen, Tice. Sorry, no, I meant Mike. Sorry. Got mad. Listen, just had a quick question for you. You know, I'm here. I'm doing it. I'm on the air. We got a story here broadcasting, and you got the medicine ball. You're holding it, right? And you have to drop the F-bomb, like live, while we're on the show doing it? Ooh, I didn't know you were going to go that. You were going to go there with it. No, that's fine. Then the one F-bomb is fine. I get it. I mean, you're trying to keep a kid safe with the one. Yeah, no, listen, I can't wait to see you knock his block off. I was just telling everybody here about the time you took that one guy's head off. Galata, I think his name was, or I forget what his name was. Kinney? Someone's going to look it up. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Mike. I forgot. Sometimes I'm just not thinking, you know? Anyway, listen, thanks for filling me in on that. What do you think the odds are? Like, what do you think the chances are you're going to knock him out in round number 1? The first swing? Are we talking about one of those 1-2 Magoos with the uppercut? You know, like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out style? Because that's what I'm talking about. That was my favorite game. Yeah, I know. I shouldn't have sold my Nintendo. I know that, you know, those modulator type of things that they have, those mods, those aren't right. Those don't work right. You know, you're like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get the emulator. No, an emulator of the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is just a little too quick. It's just not accurate, you know? Anyway, Mike, I gotta go. Yeah, no, we're getting into the weeds here. No, we know you like to get down, but are you doing that right now while you're training? Because you know you have to fight Jake Paul soon with that noggin. You know, his noggins with the shaved side noggin head thing he's got going. Yeah, I know, you give him respect, Mike. He's doing a good job out there, but you're Mike freaking Tyson. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm sure you're still rolling it. Do it up. Snoop Dogg's coming over. I'll see you later. Mike Tyson. Sometimes you get him on and he just lays you out. The stuff he was saying on there. Oof. I had no idea I was going to go there. Like I forgot he grew up on the streets. One F-bomb is like an improvement for Tyson. So, yeah, let's see what else we got here.
It's day one. The fun just begun.
Mike Tyson, the fun just begun, guys.
Day
Woo.
two.
Here we go.
Getting ready for you.
Woo. There he is. Get ready. He's got the rhymes. Tyson with the rhymes, guys.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Did you see that? You guys see how quick that was?
What?
The 1-2 Magoo. I do. I should put the 1-2 Magoo has been my thing for a very long time. I should put that out as a shirt. Oh, did you guys see how quick that was? Look at how quick he jumps through here. Look at his body. This dude's sick. Still.
3, 4.
Right there. Woo. His bob is like bobbing. What? He's still moving it.
Day 4, it was okay, but you don't know what you got in store, baby. You got to face the God of War.
Ooh.
Get ready, baby. Fire in the house.
Woo, Fire's in the house. I love him. That's my boy right there. Guys, when you got a Mike Tyson deal going on, guys, it's 14 minutes until Sensei Round Eye takes over the world with his lessons. Round Eye. You're going to want to watch that one. It's one of my favorite silly comedies. Bruce Lee's master is really from America. That's the concept. Sensei Round Eye. It's a badge of honor. I think. I still don't know. Still don't speak, No speaky. So, where are we? There we go. Mike Tyson, fire in the house. I wanted to see, what does Jake Paul look like? Boxing, training. Yeah, there we go. Let's see. I'm sure we could find a video here. There's Tice. Okay. Some boxers warning not to fight Tyson. I wanted to see if I could see him. I saw him punching the other day, and I was like, he doesn't move as quick as Tyson, and Tyson's like 30 years older than him. But I'll tell you what, he's got balls. This guy's got balls. He's like, I'll go in against Mike Tyson. You got to give it to the guy. You know what I mean? He's a little nuts in the head, you've got to say, right? Yeah, I don't see anything here where I can show you him recently. These are all 4 years ago. He's been boxing for 4 years? I did not know that. Well, you got to give it to him at least, guys. He knows how to put on a show, All right, we're going to wrap up here in a minute because the Sensei Round Eye clip is starting soon, and I want to make sure you're there with me. Ooh. Look at this. The rats get into the marijuana. Is that a freaking rat? Are those really rats? No. Okay, it's a cartoon. I was like, what in the heck? You could tell this is an AI, because look at the stupid face over here, this guy. You know this is AI. Wow. Okay, let's see. Let's hear from this.
The rats eating our marijuana. They're all high. The uncleanliness is off the charts.
What are you doing
But
with it?
it's even health issues such as mold, buildings, rodent infestation. People
come
shouldn't
up
have to
with it.
come to their office and see rodent drippings on their desk. That is not valuing your people. In the evidence property room, major rodents on the floor, the cockroaches, the rats eating our marijuana, they're all high.
Guys, how funny is that? How funny is that? And then they have the photo, the artist rendering. Oh, goodness. The rats are in there eating the marijuana. They're calling up Snoop Dogg. She's talking about the droppings coming from the ceiling because the rats are all coming from outside to get wrecked. They're all like, there's edibles. There are edibles. You guys know we're all friggin' hungry. Look at you, stupid rats. There's nothing to eat out here. The guy left a little bit in that, burger package. It's just like that little bit of bread left. You went and ate, Clarence. Another Clarence coming back, doing it double-decker in one episode. Clarence the rat. He was actually the leader, that's why. The leader of the rats. They went back. They ate their fair share of the Acapulco gold. Dropped their, droppings, wrecked. They're moving around in the ducts. They're falling. You got the dumb rat with the tongue coming out. That's how big they are, A couple people were taking them in as pets. They started looking cute because they were just like, wanted to kind of chill out, just laying there with a Cheeto. Rats. That's frightening to me, to be honest. But I think the way she said it was just like so funny.
The rats eating our marijuana, they're all high.
She's funny, this lady, at the end, and she says them full parts.
In the evidence property room, major rodents on the floor, the cockroaches, the rats eating our marijuana, they're all high.
Oh, you're funny, lady. Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness. How a Florida woman's NYC selfie led to her brain tumor diagnosis. Eight years ago, Megan Troutwine traveled to New York, and her late cousin, Tony Martinez, taking pictures, seeing the sights. 33-year-old from Hudson, Florida. When you have a family out there, your heart hits the streets and looks differently. We'll see what she says here. They took a selfie. I looked at the picture and my eyelid was drooping. I thought it was odd, so I returned home. I mentioned it to my neurologist. On the way to the scan, she got a call. They found a benign mass inside her brain that was growing at an aggressive rate. I found out that I had meningioma, which is a most common form of brain cancer. Gosh almighty. The diagnosis, it is hard. Troutwine began treatment immediately at the Moffitt Center, Cancer Center. I think that's in Tampa, yeah. First surgery was performed to remove the tumor, then follow-up procedures revealed the presence of another preliminary or primary brain tumor. This one, a glioma. Gosh almighty. Doctors informed Troutwine, now working as a health unit coordinator at Moffitt, that the tumor would continue to slowly grow and that she'd likely require lifelong monitoring for her condition. On top of that, doctors are also discovering she carries a PTEN gene mutation, putting her at greater risk for developing other cancers. Gosh almighty. She underwent craniotomy. She's diagnosed with and treated for breast cancer and uterine cancer. Gosh almighty, this poor lady. I can't read the story. I hope she gets better. I hope she gets better. Another. Amazon owns it. We found the best Amazon deals to shop this weekend. Av up to 80% on vacuums. Save. They couldn't even get the ad right. They missed the S. Ave up to 80% on vacuums, earbuds, and more. They left out the last S for savings. The first S for savings. The Detroit Tigers backed Max Clark's Corvette. What happened next says everything. All right, I guess that's basically it. Hopeful viewers of a Eagle's Nest hatch cam get bittersweet update. I don't like that. That means the babies were born, but something died. You know, when you have the bittersweet thing in there. Anyway, I think that is probably the news for the day. Most of it was about the NAR ruling. And again, if you are just joining us now, go back to the top of the show to watch that, my perspectives on it. I think it's going to affect the business massively. And we'll see what happens. Anyway, I hope you guys can join me. I just found out actually that we are good now. I think we got to 50 subscribers over. Joanne, can you get me back on the screen, please? Please, thank you. No, I can't find myself. All right, there we go. I will be back later, guys. I appreciate you. Got to go try to sell some real estate. If you have any questions about this ruling, if you have any questions about real estate, if you want to get out and sell a house or buy a piece of property, we'll figure out how it works. But I'd love to help you, and I'll be back later on. Until then, let me say good afternoon to you, or good morning. Remember, in about 5 minutes, we have Sensei Round Eye. Let me pop this on. Here we go. Come on. I have to restart this, I guess. Refresh. There we go. Helen Gale Townsend. Hilly Billy, my friend. Guys, please subscribe to Hilly if you haven't. Main Girl, Modoc Roughstock. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. I got to get going and try to get something going in this day. It's a Monday. Phone calls to make. See if I can figure out this market. What the heck is going on with it? You know what I mean? Oof. If you can leave a comment after, make sure you hit the like on the way out. I really appreciate that. And I will see you later. Until then. This is day 1904 in a row. More to come. We have the Sensei Round Eye bit in just 3 minutes, I think. If you can join me, give me the link real quick. I don't know where it is. This is the link. You'll probably see it at the end. Danik, my friend, appreciate you. Hope to see you in a few minutes on the replay for this. Until then. With the outro. Everything's off right now. I don't know where I put everything. Outro. There we go. And there we go. Thank you guys. Thanks for kicking it with me. Appreciate you. Downloaded the music from 2 nights ago. I can't wait to edit that. I'll be back later. Till then, have a great rest of your morning. Sensei Round Eye. 2 minutes. I'll see you there in the chat.